Hey guys, it's Matt here from the UnderWraps. Come check out Series 1 and how we transform vehicle wraps. In this episode, we're wrapping a Ferrari 296 challenge car ready for Bathurst 12 hour. We've only got 2.5 days to wrap this with a tight schedule. The car's finally arrived, which is great, so Evil's dropped that off, so we've got that in there and we're starting it now, so we'll try to get that done for you for Thursday. I'm aiming for Thursday lunch to have a bit of a leeway. I'm not sure who's picking up. I did tell Evil it's going to be done by Thursday lunch. He goes, oh, his guys might be doing it. I'm like, anyway, that's cool, but that's what we're aiming for, so you can work that out. We're probably going to wrap it matte black and then put all the overlays in gloss. Are you cool with that?
Yes.
Yep, I think that'll look really cool. The screen, the windscreen and the headlights, are we doing them in clear?
Yes, please.
Yep, you want us to do it? And what about the boot lid?
Yes, please.
Okay, cool. Headlights, windscreen, boot lid, all in clear.
Yep.
Yep. All right, so we've got this cool project here for Zagame. It's for a Ferrari 296 challenge car. Currently it's black, and lucky thing is we're going to be wrapping it matte black. So we're going from gloss to matte. The red's actually going to be going to a purple to match the client's brand, which is out there, and then it's going to be Zagame with that logo on it as well. So we're going to be using a bit of purple highlights instead of the red. So we've got to pull a fair bit off this car. So there's a lot of front flicks, there's a lot of bar components we've got to pull off, we've got to pull badges off. The reason why we pull a lot of these components off is so we can actually get in under it and make it neat. And also avoid any peeling as well, because we want it to be like a perfect outcome. So there is a bit of time in pulling components off. So we've got to pull mirrors off as well, and potentially the rear wing as well, so we can get around that. So come along for the ride, but you'll see us transform. All the overlays are going to be in a gloss, so accents off the matte really well. So that will look pretty good. The headlights, the windscreen and the rear screen that covers the engine cover, we're wrapping clear. The client wants to protect those parts quite a lot. They do cost a lot, those components.
So I'm one of the main installers here working alongside Matt for the UnderWraps show. Matt's usually busy upstairs talking to clients, creating the designs and prints, or he's downstairs working with Jacinta, our print press, getting stuff laminated, cut, printed, and making sure everything looks good for the customer and the customer is happy.
We need to order the overlay colours, the purple and the silver. So it's always best just to get the colour book and just bring it to the car, I find, and pick which colour I think is going to suit it best. So the client is happy to change the colour ever so slightly, as long as it's purple, and just to make something that's going to pop.
Just cleaning this roof, getting it ready to wrap. Taken off majority of all the parts that we need to take off. We've got this rear window here to give us some room to tuck in further and deeper with our material. Front bar, it has some little fairings and splitters and stuff like that on the side, so we've taken that off. And now we're just going to start with the easy stuff. We'll start with the roof and the bonnet that's just sitting over there. And then from there, we should sort of learn what the material feels like, what the car's going to act like, and then hopefully we get a good result and a good final product.
the windscreen at least today.
Yeah.
Because if he takes it tomorrow, the truckie takes it, we need to let the water evaporate.
Yeah, right.
So at least today.
Yeah, that's all right.
We'll
do we want to do that
headlights.
first then? Because Jazzy's still using the table for her stuff to weed.
Okay.
And then I'll be able to cut some stuff up. And then we can
Did you want to take the wipers off? I'll get the material.
Yep.
So the reason why we install the window clear earlier in the job, it's because we need to let the water evaporate, because it's quite important that we check that process and make sure the water's evaporating and there's no bubbles coming up. So we usually leave it at least overnight. So whenever we're doing like PPF and stuff like that, it's quite crucial that we have the vehicle overnight so we can do that, because we don't want the car to go out on track or on the road if there's any potential water under it, or if any edges are lifted up, because we need to heat around it once the water evaporates. That's why we need to give it time to do that. We do have little tricks that we can speed that up, and one of them is even using hot water instead of cold water, because that helps it evaporate quicker. And also we can add isopropylene to the mixture to help it evaporate quicker as well. So it is important that we do that early in the process, so it gives it time to evaporate, and make sure we check over so the job's perfect.
Alright, so I'm going to start doing this rear quarter. I've taped up this section just so I don't cut on this flare at the back here. It's going to be pretty tricky to tuck down there, so I will need to cut a little bit lower than what the panel actually is, so I can actually get down there and tuck. Matt's currently working on that front splitter, doing all the tricky stuff to help me. We're going to tackle this. It's going to be pretty hard. There's a few areas that are going to need a lot of stretch. This area here is going to sort of have to be bombed in with a glove. You just won't be able to tuck without making too many creases or anything like that. And down here is pretty tricky where this vent is. We're going to have to actually make a relief cut that will cut through where we need to apply on the panel. That'll be down here, just so we can actually let it sink in and allow that wrap to not have too much stretch on it. And then later down the track, maybe tomorrow, or when we're doing all those small touch-ups at the end of the project, we'll put some inlays and fill all these empty gaps. Let's get to it. If I remember to tape it, it would be a lot easier because you don't have to worry about scratching the car. But this is where sort of a lot of skill and experience comes into play. Learning how deep you can actually cut before cutting into the car is really crucial when it comes to wrapping. So another good reason why you would tape up an area like this is not only to stop you from cutting through the car, but also because with masking tape, the vinyl doesn't like to stick to it very well. So when you tape it and you need to tuck somewhere, it will actually slide off the masking tape rather than getting stuck on the panel that you're trying to avoid, and it will help applying it into that crevice a lot easier. But now I'm faced with this challenge to try and lift it up as I go and tuck into the panel.
Alright, so I've wrapped one half of the bar. One of the struggles with this bar is it curves around quite a lot, and then it's quite sharp here as well. So if you just wrap it around gently It means you have to overstretch these areas. It's important for us to pull the wrap around because then it will naturally want to suck around the bar, which means there's less tension, and then which means we don't have to heat it and just pull as much. So we'll show you the technique on that. I'll get Rep to help me. I've done this side myself. It is way easier with 2 people. So I'll get Rep to give me a hand to pull this around, and I'll show you that as the more we pull around, the easier it will suck around the bottom of the bar and the top of the bar, and it'll make our install a lot easier. But also gives us confidence that's not going to peel off later on.
All right, so I'm on this top section around this rear ring at the moment, but before I get onto that, I've also done the rear bar. This rear bar was very challenging, very difficult. This light here doesn't come out, and we would need to take the rear bar off to do that, but this car being so high end, it's very hard. We don't have the tools, such and such. So we've had to leave that light in there, and then also getting around all this grill and stuff was very tricky, making sure it was tucked nicely and all done neat. So what I've done is I've sort of just put a little bit of pressure here just to get my blade in there, and then also my squeegee just to tuck it under and make sure it's still applied underneath and isn't dangling around. A lot of stretch was used through here. Although this section's quite small, it does widen out around the side here. So that was pretty tricky, but with a quick hand from Matt, made it very, very easy. And now we're up to this wing section, which is also going to be very, very difficult. We actually can't take these goosenecks off because they are bolted on in such a way that the aero's set up all correctly and stuff, and you need a proper tool to realign them. So we've had to leave this on for now. And what we've done is we've actually cut down the side of the gooseneck to sort of keep that line where it joins. And we've gone to the smallest section we possibly could, so that way the joint is less stable. The Ferrari 296 is completely wrapped in matte black now. Matt is currently working on some designing and some trimming up for the silver and purple overlays, and while he's doing that, we've currently got some logos and some sponsor stickers getting ready for print, and then we'll laminate those, get them in the cutter, and then we'll get to slapping those on.
All right, so the purple's been printed on clear. We've just installed the white. Unfortunately, the material hasn't arrived yet, so for the overlay, so we're trying to get other stuff done to get the material sorted. We've probably only got about 6 hours left before the truck arrives. In the meantime, we're going to print the logos. So we've got the Pirellis, we've got the Ferrari logos, we've also got the Shell logos in the door numbers, so we'll do that now. So we'll get that ready to go on the white material. Once that's sorted, we'll get that on the car. So, and then it really starts coming together. Like, it's good doing the matte black, but once you really start putting logos on it and some stripes, it's where we really get excited, because it actually starts bringing the characteristic out of the design and just really makes it look good, because the design's everything. You can wrap a car, but the design is what really turns heads. So this car's going to look pretty cool. So it's only going to get better from now. So we're actually getting pretty excited. Fingers crossed the material comes. We tried to get onto the driver, but he's not entering. So makes us a bit nervous, but let's see if we can get it done in time.
Hi, Matt.
Rod, how are you?
Good.
Are you getting excited?
Hey?
Are we getting excited?
I haven't got time to get excited.
We're excited. Go for it.
I sent you through a file from McLaren.
Opening now.
So it's the McLaren Customer Racing and the logo's there.
McLaren Customer Racing, you need to add that on one of the other trucks in black.
Yes, in black.
only. And are you thinking, what was it, did you say 2 meters, 3 of them?
Yeah.
Cool. All right. The driver stuff, still what the same discussion was yesterday with the boards and the driver's names and stuff?
Yep.
Cool. All right. Oh, question.
Yes.
With the video, we're just going to like kind of do a release with the curtain and all those types of stuff. Can we start the car at all?
Yes.
Okay.
So,
What's going on, guys? Day 3, working on the Ferrari. So all the matte black stuff is done. We're gonna start putting on some decals, some purple and silver to finish this car off. Everything's pretty much ready to go back on the car, like the mirrors and door cards and stuff like that. So we'll jump into that straight away.
Luckily, the materials just arrived. The tow truck's coming in 3.5 hours, so it's very tight times now to get this car complete before it goes on the truck. So the team have just put the purple in to get that cut. Next, the silver will go in to put that in the cutter, so we can get that on the car. So time's ticking. Let's get it sorted and get this car out the door. All right, we're nearing the end of this, the Ferrari wrap. We've probably got about 20 minutes left, and we'll just give it a final heat over to make sure it doesn't fall off on the racetrack. So carpool final decals, as you can see, it's looking pretty close. We've got a Shell logo to go here. Rhett's going to put back some of the components on it. We're going to put this in silver. He's going to do this fin here in the purple there just to accent it a little bit, and a couple of final decals, and we're nearly there. So it's going to be good to reveal it to the client and see what his reaction is. Little tricks that we use to quickly measure something for center. What we do is we fold the sticker in half and we pinch it. And because it's gone center of this bonnet here, we can line it up with that. And then we line up our pinch line here. And we know it's pretty accurate. Then we can know it's really close, then we can get the tape measure to give it final tune up. So what we've got here is the guys at Zagame are obviously running 4 cars this weekend, including the one we're wrapping. So these are their clients' cars they're wrapping, they're working on this weekend. So they put these in front of the car, and we also have little wheel decals as well. So when the cars sit in there in the pits, they've just got their name on there with their Zagame's logo on the Ferrari thing, just to kind of make it look cool and presents the car nice and well. So the car's now loaded up and on its way to Tullamarine. Unlucky for the tow truck driver, he's stuck in peak hour, but it's on its way to Tullamarine. Unfortunately, the owner couldn't be with us to reveal the car, but he asked for some photos. I don't like sending people photos because it ruins the surprise, and I sent him a message saying, how was it? And he was really, really excited and stoked about the end result. I didn't tell him about the headlights as well, so we just done that for him as a little secret, and he reckons that was probably one of his favourite parts, because when you turned on the car, it shined purple headlights. So he was pretty stoked with the outcome. It had to get back to Zagame quite quick because the mechanics had to do a setup on it and put their gear in it, radios and V-boxes and that type of thing in it. They only had 1 day to do that as well, so it was a really quick turnaround. So it's a pretty good process in the end, but it's all sorted and the client's happy.
All right, so the car has finally left. Getting the car wrapped in matte black was probably the hardest thing possible for us to do. It was quite tricky with all these body lines, deep concaves and stuff like that, but we made it happen. Again, this Avery material is absolutely awesome to work with. The overlay stickers went really well, actually topped the car off completely, gave it some really nice details. It allowed you to actually see the body lines a bit more, so that was pretty cool. Finally got it out in the light and it looked absolutely awesome. I reckon the customer's going to be quite happy with it, and we'll see it out in Bathurst.
On the next episode, you'll see us at Le Mans go-kart track installing banners for Penrite on the start-finish line, on the grandstand and other locations around the building at a unique racetrack like Le Mans go-karts.